At noon, the sun vanishes. The air cools. Animals change course. Crowds fall silent. But what actually changed on Earth, and what did not?
Everything you are about to see is astronomically accurate. Then we will cross the line into history, psychology, and astrological symbolism, without pretending those are the same kind of claim.
By the end, you will know what an eclipse measurably does to light, temperature, tides, animals, and people, and where evidence gives way to interpretation.
A solar eclipse is geometry. The moon passes between Earth and the sun, and its shadow sweeps across our planet. Inside the narrow umbra, the moon covers the sun's bright surface. Outside it, the penumbra creates a partial eclipse.
The moon has not changed the sun. It has only blocked our line of sight. During totality, the faint solar corona becomes visible around the black disk. That distinction matters for safety. Except during the brief phase of complete totality, direct viewing requires certified eclipse glasses or an indirect method.
The first measurable effect is light. Direct sunlight collapses toward deep twilight in the path of totality, while the horizon can glow in every direction.
Less incoming solar energy means the ground stops warming. The nearby air then cools, usually with a delay, because soil, water, buildings, clouds, and wind all store or move heat differently.
During the 2017 eclipse, Kentucky observations and simulations found air temperature drops around 2.5 to 4 degrees Celsius near totality.
That number is not universal. Cloud cover, humidity, terrain, season, and the time of day can make the local drop smaller or larger. Wind may weaken or shift as near-surface heating changes. Again, this is ordinary atmospheric physics responding to a rapidly moving patch of shade.
Now the myth magnet, gravity. The sun, moon, and Earth are aligned during every new moon, not only when an eclipse is visible from your location.
That alignment helps produce spring tides, slightly larger differences between high and low water, because solar and lunar tidal forces reinforce one another. But the moon does not gain mass during totality. Its shadow carries no gravity. An eclipse does not create a sudden extra pull on your body or a minute-by-minute tidal wall.
Local tides still depend on coastline shape, ocean depth, weather, and timing. The alignment is real. A special eclipse-only gravitational surge is not.
Animals, however, can receive a powerful sensory signal. Light drops, temperature changes, and the soundscape begins to resemble dusk.
In a 2017 zoo study, researchers compared eclipse behavior with earlier observations across 17 vertebrate groups. Many shifted toward evening routines. A few showed apparent anxiety. Others barely reacted. Siamangs vocalized unusually. Flamingos gathered around juveniles. Some giraffes galloped. Those observations are intriguing, but one zoo and one unrepeatable event cannot establish a universal rule. A separate citizen science study used acoustic monitors across the 2017 path. Bee flight sounds dropped sharply during totality and returned as daylight recovered.
The careful conclusion is simple. Some animals treat eclipse cues like an abrupt dusk. The response depends on species, setting, season, and individual behavior.
What about humans? There is no good evidence that totality produces a unique gravitational or biological force inside us. The clear physical danger is retinal injury from looking at the bright sun without proper protection outside complete totality. Psychology is more interesting.
A large naturalistic study of the 2017 eclipse found more awe and more collective, humble, and pro-social language among people inside the path than outside.
That does not prove an eclipse permanently transforms personality. It suggests that a rare, immersive event, especially one shared with others, can shift attention away from the individual self. So if an eclipse feels profound, the feeling is real. Psychology can study that experience without claiming the planets sent a hidden signal into yourselves.
This is where astrology begins, not with a new physical force, but with inherited symbolism applied to a real celestial event.
Ancient Mesopotamian scholars recorded eclipse omens on clay tablets. Their interpretations often concerned rulers, cities, danger, and ritual response, not modern personal horoscopes.
Across cultures, the sudden disappearance and return of a familiar light naturally became a symbol of interruption, uncertainty, revelation, and renewal. Modern astrologers often interpret an eclipse by sign, house, and contacts to a birth chart. Those are symbolic conventions, not findings established by eclipse physics.
Used carefully, symbolism can organize reflection. It can ask, what has become visible by briefly disappearing? What cycle feels ready for attention?
Used carelessly, it becomes fear marketing, guaranteed endings, disasters, or destiny. The sky does not justify certainty that the evidence cannot support.
Here is the clean comparison. Astronomy explains the alignment, shadow, corona, changing light, and atmospheric response. Biology and psychology investigate how organisms respond while acknowledging noisy data and events that are difficult to repeat. History records what different societies believed. Astrology explores what the event might symbolize for a person or community. These lenses can share a screen without sharing an evidence standard. Measurement answers one question. Meaning-making answers another.
So what happens to Earth during an eclipse? Daylight drops. Local air may cool. Some winds and animal routines shift. Normal new moon tides continue. Human awe can intensify. What does not happen? Gravity does not spike. The shadow does not emit energy. And no scientific result assigns a guaranteed life event to your chart.
The strongest way to hold both perspectives is astronomy first, symbolism second, and uncertainty stated out loud.
If you use astrology, treat the eclipse as a prompt, not a command. Locate it in your chart, write one question, and watch what actually unfolds.
You can map current transits against your chart free with AskCelesta. The link will be in the pinned comment after publication. Whether you see physics, psychology, symbolism, or coincidence, the sky during totality is objectively different, and our interpretation is where the debate begins.